Alright, welcome back for another video. In the last video, we were working on... in today's video, let's see. We were working on adding objects to the background of your game. That's where we left off. This time, we are going to work on adding a actual boss. I have two different versions of the game, one that I've been working on quite a bit, and one that I've been working on with you guys in the video series. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me show you what we're going for with my current version of my game. You should be able to hear the audio from my game playing right here.
Who dares summon Smith the Destroyer?
And we've got Smith here. He comes in, he flies in from the back of the game, and then you battle him, basically trying to defeat him. There's sounds, he has movements, he does different things, and he has different attacks. He does different patterns and all kinds of stuff. So what we're going to work on is adding a boss into your game. Alright. In order to do that, we're going to have something that loads the levels for us. In my current version, I have basically a dictionary that selects different levels and different patterns of enemies to appear on the screen. So let's look at the tutorial setup right here. First, tutorial. I use this basically to test if I want to spawn a different set of enemies in on the game. I can unlock or open up. Right there, what I just played was opening regular boss, that Smith. There's his scene, and there's some special characteristics about him that can load, like what's put on the screen, what words are put on the screen. But the one I am currently working on is a spoon boss. The grammar specialist. Let's take a look at her right now. She's definitely not fully done by any means, but she loads in. See, it says spoon grammar specialist.
Well. I see you.
And then she has her own talking.
Don't worry.
She does not have she does not have a body yet, and she's still using Mr. Smith's attacks. But I can sub in her or whichever set of units I'd like to by unlocking that set of settings. Here's just a regular pattern of enemies that are going to appear. Tutorial level 1 loads, and then this set of enemies appear on the screen. They do their thing, and if you are able to defeat an entire wave of units, then you will be able to move on to the next level and fight another set of enemies. Let's see if we can get this to do it. Come on, baby. Right, there we go. It should, since I only have one level for the tutorial, then it skips down and it goes to Mercury, and then it does Mercury's pattern. Now, these patterns aren't set in stone. These are just my placeholder things. Eventually, I will get those things set up. Okay, so now you kind of see what is what our goal is here for our game. Let's go ahead and start seeing if we can't get any of this set up. Okay, so here's your current version, or at least the one you should have loaded from my checkpoint, or very close. I think maybe you guys added a couple of earths or backgrounds or background objects. When I load this version of the game, there's already a set number of units. Nothing really loads into the game. What you have here is just a set of enemies that are static. Once you destroy all the enemies, nothing else happens from this point forward. All right, so we're gonna switch things over a little bit and allow the. I'm gonna kill one more just because I feel like it. And we're gonna allow the game to actually have a better feel. So right there, all the enemies are gone. Game over essentially. Nothing else happens. I mean, you got the cool earth back there, but that's it. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go over here to the side, and we're going to go to our scripts folder, and let's go ahead and make another folder for scripts. Currently all the scripts we have are just regular old scripts, and they load when they're loaded into the game. We are going to, or when they're called on in a certain order. We're going to now add a script that is always loaded. Let's see. I'm going to call this globals. I'm also going to give this one a different color. I'll color it gray. Okay, so it's in my scripts folder, and I'm going to make a script. So I'll right click on that folder I just made, and I'll say new script, and I'm going to call this the global. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call it level loader. Level loader. All right, create. This is in the globals folder, and it's a special color for me, so I know that any script in this folder is going to load at the very start of the game, no matter what scene I play. If I play the player ship script, or I play the missile script, or I play the squirts 0 or the earth, that script in this folder will be able to be accessed from any scene, and it will always be playing and always doing different things. This allows you to carry scores from one level to the next and do all kinds of stuff. It is a little bit dangerous in the sense that it will constantly be loaded. So if you load something in there, like let's say something very memory intensive, then that memory is going to get taken up even when you load a small scene or a small object or whatever. So the things you want to put in this level loader script are going to be things that are small and useful and needed under all points in time. So I'm going to call this level loader. I say needed, I really mean wouldn't hurt you if it was in there. Alright, so I opened the script and I just wrote in the starting title for it. I like to do that. Now, there's nothing special about this script right now. Actually, it doesn't even load at the very start. In order to make this a global script, you're going to have to do a couple things. You need to click on Project, go to Project Settings, click on the top middle. It says Globals. And then you're going to want to locate this script, because right now it does not load. It's a normal script. So I'm going to go to Scripts, Globals, Level Loader, and Open. And then there it found the path to it, and I'm going to hit Add. And you'll see that Level Loader is now in this set of drop-down boxes, and in this area here. And then it says global variable enabled. That means this script is loading all the time, no matter which one I go to. Let's prove that to be true. So I'll make a function in here, and this will be the ready function, and I'll just say print, and I'll say this level loader. I'm gonna use. I like to take. I've started a new scheme kind of thing where I give it the name of the thing in the ready function here. And script played. Alright, so I'll save that. So I'm just going to prove that this is loading at any time. I'm going to run the regular test world here. So I'm clicked on test world. That's this guy here. I'll hit run, and in the global output here it says script played. So it did play. If I go to this guy here, he doesn't even have a camera, so it probably won't do much, but you do see that that script played right before it crashed. If you look right there, it did play. And you could do that with this scene right here, the earth scene. Can't see the earth, but that script did play. Alright, so I'm going to go back to this global script here, and we're going to, instead of me walking you through every single thing, I'm going to give you some stuff to input, and we'll talk about it. So magic's about to happen. Stuff's just about to appear on the screen now. Alright, I've got some stuff on here to talk to you about. I filled it in, and I'm just decided I'm just going to do the best that I can explaining what's happening here. Let's take it one line at a time. Here we go. Start screen. I'm creating a variable called start screen, and this is basically just the default location of where your game will go in the instance that you need to quit. Basically, this is just our default place. What level number we are currently on is this one. It just holds the number of where we're at. And then also a number for what world we're on. You'll see that I have this tutorial set up right here. This would be the first world. This is the first world. And then, so, you know, right off the bat, maybe world 0 is a better way to say it. And then this is our world number 1. World 1. These are the patterns of enemies on those worlds. We'll talk more about that in a second. This is just a container that holds, or a list holder of the different worlds. So this will get populated with tutorial setup and Mercury, and if I decide to add more of them later on down the line, like maybe Venus, Earth, Mars, Pluto, whatever, it'll also get its own dictionary and its own pattern of enemies as well. The current world is where we start, and we're starting out on the tutorial world. The next one is fresh start. Okay, though this is the game state of where we're at. So the game state basically just tells me, is this their first time playing this session, this game? So fresh start would basically just mean they just started, they haven't done anything yet, first play around. You need to do everything just like normal. Do all the initial starting up stuff. If our game state is in game over mode, then I know I need to put the ending screen up, and I need to put the scores, and basically put a menu on the screen that says, oh darn, you lost, would you like to start over or go back to the main menu? Paused, pretty self-explanatory. They hit the button that should pause all of the game stuff and stop doing things. Ready, probably just playing. Loading, maybe we're transitioning from one world to the next, so maybe the player can't shoot, maybe the player can't die, maybe he can't gain score, whatever. Fresh start, this is just a placeholder, so I know that's there. Boss, meaning we are fighting a boss, and maybe a health bar needs to be popped up on the screen for the boss, and maybe there's certain other things that need to change. Squirts would be like regular gameplay. The boss loading, which would be he's talking to you, telling you how he's going to whoop on you, and then also at this point, boss loading, the player also shouldn't be able to shoot. Previous game state, I use that for like if you pause, you want to, and then you unpause, you want to know which game state to go back to. So for example, if you were on boss mode and then the player pressed the pause button, then game state would switch to paused, and the last game state would stay boss. So when they unpause, it would go, okay, I need to go back to the previous state, which was boss, and then everything continues just like it was. Let's talk a little bit about these right here. These are dictionaries. I don't know if I've talked to you guys very much about a dictionary, but here we go. With a traditional list, the way that regular lists work, here, let me do a little bit of type in here. Lists. A list looks something like this. Item 1, item 2. I should put that in a string. Silly thing. It's also screaming at me because I didn't put var in front of here. And let's do one more. Let's do item 3. Okay, in a traditional list, or an array, there's a bunch of names for it, confusing. You have an item 0, 1, 2. Item 0 is, or 0 corresponds to item 1. 1 corresponds to item 2. 2 corresponds to item 3. You can also reference these things in reverse with negative numbers. This would be -3, this would be -2, and then this would be -1. So if you wanted to grab this item, you would reference it with either -1 or 2. If you wanted to grab this one, you'd reference it with -2 or 1. All right, that's how a regular list. That's how a regular list works. For a dictionary, you do not reference things with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You reference them with a key and a value. So var, I'll say my dictionary. This is going to create a dictionary. And this is going to be, let's say item, well, let's say this is the, heck, I could just use that. That's what I'll use, spawn pattern. If I'm looking for the spawn pattern is some value. So if I try to reference, let's say item 1, I would say print lists square bracket 0. And that, what will that print out? That, this stupid thing is going to drive me insane. I'm just going to comment that out. List 0, the output of this is literally going to be item 1. If I put 1 there, it's going to change this to item 2. Now with a dictionary, if I say print my dictionary, and I do square brackets, this, instead of putting 1 there, I would put spawn pattern. And that is going to print out exactly this, whatever your value is. My value. Home. There we go. Okay, so short details of how lists and dictionaries go. Instead of referencing with a number, you're going to reference with whatever is right there. Now, oddly enough, I used the number instead because I like using it. This is level 0 or level 1 or all the way down to level 99. But I have in here, I've got a dictionary inside of a dictionary and then a list inside of that. I know this week, whenever I was teaching you guys, I was teaching you about how you can put a list inside of a list and a string inside of a list, and you can reference those things. Well, this is kind of the reason you use that stuff is right here. Okay, so this right here is not super important, but that's how it works. Hopefully you, if you didn't skip through that, you probably got smarter. If not, you're probably going to be wondering what's happening. So whenever you call tutorial setup here, you then reference one of these 0 or 1, and if you say 0, then it comes with a spawn pattern, and that's the pattern of units that appear on the screen, and that's what we're going to make next. If you called spawn pattern on level 1, what you would immediately find is there's not a row of numbers, but the string of boss. And when that happens, it calls the boss, sets it to boss mode. You know, current game state is boss mode, and that means we need to load the next. Where is he? Where did he come from? Then we load this. We load his scene. And then, after you load his scene, you also need to tell the player, who are you fighting? Well, you're fighting Schmidt, the destroyer. So the information for what level you're on is packaged inside of these dictionaries here. Okay, so this is the basic setup for how my my global level loader works. We're going to start trying to make this, implement this in your world and in your game. I also have this little key here, this guide. There's my worlds that load, and then there's our regular print statement, dealy bop there. Let me see if I can zoom back a little bit so y'all can see that a little bit better. I might give this script right here to you guys in a text document or something, so you can copy and paste, so you don't have to do that. But I don't know. All right, I'm gonna stop right here. So this was mainly an explanation video of what's gonna happen and what to do, and I'll pick up in another video.